Oh, really?
No, next year it's going to be the fourth week.
Oh.
We ready?
Oh, wow.
All right, it's 5 p.m. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Please join me in the invocation and the pledge. Gracious Heavenly Father, we bow before you today. We just thank you for this time we can come together and do our county's business. We ask you to just guide us, guide our hearts and our minds and our actions tonight. We ask you to just bless those who look after our county. Bless our first responders and our military at home and abroad. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome. We've got a couple opportunities for you to join us tonight and participate. We've got a citizens to be heard at the beginning. We've got another one at the end. You can speak on either of those at your choice. You can also speak on each individual agenda item. Please fill out a speaker card with Ms. Jessica on each item you're interested in speaking on, and give us your name and address when you come up and speak into the microphone so the folks on the cameras can see you as well. We have a motion to approve the agenda. Motion to approve.
Mr. Chair, I have an add-on item this evening that I would request be put on the consent agenda. This is a request for the board's approval of a SHIP certification and ratification of the submittal of the annual report.
All righty. Proposal is to add to consent. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I believe also item 8 tonight is going to be pulled as well. That'll come back to you at a future meeting.
8 is pulled, and then we've got some additional information on tab 5.
Yes.
As well. Does the motion include those changes?
Yes, sir.
And the second? Second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimous. All right, citizens to be heard. Mr. Joe DeLuca. Welcome, sir.
Joe DeLuca, 63 Sunrise Lane, Panacea, Florida. Okay, well, to start with, once again, Sunrise Canal. We've been talking about this for a while now. I'd like to put it on the next meeting that we could actually have a discussion about the dredging of it or the MSTU, which David told me if I got 60% of the residents to or owners to okay it, that we could do it. I have 15 of the 18 or 17 lots all approved it, say yes, they would go for it. Also, the other half, by the way, is yours, so whether you say yes or no is irrelevant because I've got more than my 60%.
Met the threshold.
Excuse me?
Met the threshold.
Okay, so we'll have it on the agenda for December. Am I correct?
No. We'll have to, you need to submit that to us, and then there's a process to go through for the MSBU, and we'll have to execute that process, but we need an actual request from you.
That is my request, right now, standing right here, saying, I want to request the MSTU. Good enough?
I would scan that, just simply attach it to an email, send it in, make a request on that.
Okay.
That way we've got something to
Okay.
file.
The beach. We have terrapin turtles that nest there. You've effectively lost their nesting area. So we're having FWC send someone in December. We'd like that on the agenda as well, to speak about the beach, where we're losing our dune and we're losing our terrapin nesting area. The pier, still no word on the pier?
Still the same information. Still waiting on FEMA. It's all more information.
Okay, well, also, my final thought was Earl Keeler was our custodian, and I know I've heard a lot of stories, people saying that they had a lot of complaints from him. They also had a lot of compliments, but I don't know who's in charge of that. But the man works for free. All he gets is electric and water, and he's been probably the most dedicated guy we had taking care of our beach, and Cody fired him. We don't know why. We heard that there were complaints. You want some complaints? I can find complaints against all of you, because that's what happens. People complain. The last thing before I go, Chuck brought up an item last time about the $150,000 we're spending to advertise and promote Wakulla County. And he has probably the most logical and sound question to the lady that was here. What have we got from our $150,000 a year for the 3 years running? Am I correct, Chuck?
3 years total.
3 years, $450,000. We got,
No.
Confusing that with EDC.
do what?
You're confusing.
150. 150 for 3 years.
Right.
A year.
About the
50,000 a year.
50,000, okay, $150,000 a year.
No, for 3 years, 50,000 per year.
$50,000, $150,000 we spent advertising and getting nothing in return. If you take that $150,000 for the next 3 years and invest it in doing the Sunrise Canal, you've accomplished something. You've made the residents that pay their taxes and are getting nothing in return as we speak now, for all of the money that we pay, and our taxes go up every year, but we get nothing in return. We haven't had our streets paved. We haven't had any improvements on the island. We haven't had our canal dredged, and half of it is yours, and it's your responsibility. And you have a 50-year
Bringing into a landing, sir.
well, you have a 50-year lease on that property that you're supposed to maintain it, and the Dewberrys told you that, I guess you hired them to maintain it. Well, that's part of the maintenance, isn't it? To prevent your dirt from eroding into our canal?
That was never agreed to, no, sir. Thank you. Mr. Alan Bull.
Alan Bull, I live at 79 Sunrise Lane. I just built a new house there. And I agree with Joe of everything, and I signed this petition too, because I've been there 5 years on that address, on that road, but not in that address. I sold a house and built another house. And my house faces the outlet of the canal, and every day somebody gets stuck in a boat. Cannot get out, they cannot get in, and the channel that's the deepest part, which sometimes the day is not deep, is barely about this deep, and they don't know where to go. I mean, even if it was marked with some posts in the ground, say, this side and that side, then they wouldn't get stuck. I mean, even something simple like that. As far as the pier goes, I don't see why they're building it where it does. I mean, y'all don't make that decision. FEMA made that decision, and it's just a waste of money when they started it, because they should have just went straight out with it, which would have been a little short trip out there, and they would have put it out there, and everybody's trying to fish off of it, but they can't get out there to it. So, it really needs to be dredged bad. I pay $25 a year for mine because I'm old fart, so I get the deductible price, and I was going to build I'm fitting to put in a boat lift, and this would be twice I paid for the engineer plans, and twice I'm going to end up paying for a permit, and I can't get my boat off because I can't get it out of my canal either, which is the same one Joe uses. So, and they don't give away them engineer plans, and they don't give away them permits either. Believe me, I know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's about it. So I know y'all heard it before, but it does need attention. I mean, they spent millions of dollars, I assume millions of dollars, I don't know how much they spent on everything, but the one thing that needed to be done 5 years ago was have the canal dredged, and it's the only thing that hasn't ever been done.
We appreciate that, sir, but it's not a public resource. We spend the same amount of money on your canal we spend on everybody's canal. Exactly zero. All right, that ends our citizens to be heard. We have no awards and presentation. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion to approve.
second.
Any discussion on that?
Some discussion. Is Summers out on consent?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimous. Our only general business item has been tabled, number 8, so we'll go to public hearing, item number 9.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a request for the board's approval to conduct a public hearing and adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 5 of the Land Development Code. This ordinance is pertaining to the commercial zoning district regulations and would increase the maximum heights requirement in C2, C3, C4, and LIC, low-intensity commercial, within the Crawfordville Town Plan. This item was considered by the Planning Commission on November 14th and was unanimously recommended for approval. Staff is recommending option 1.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion second. Any citizens? Discussion from the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Public hearing number 10.
This is a request for the board's approval to conduct a public hearing and adopt an ordinance amending sections 5-62 and 5-63 of the Land Development Code. This is pertaining to the architectural standards design criteria for property within the Crawfordville Town Plan overlay. Currently, the code and the accompanying administrative regulation both apply to the properties only within the core district. This ordinance would expand them to apply to everything within the Crawfordville Town Plan. Tonight, we're seeking approval of this change in the ordinance as well as the administrative regulation. The Planning Commission considered the proposed ordinance on November 14th and recommended approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and a second. Any citizens? Discussion from the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Item 11.
This is a request for the board's approval to conduct a public hearing and adopt an ordinance amending Chapter 6 of the Land Development Code. This ordinance is simply a house cleaning item, if you will, relocating the provisions for mobile food vendors from one section of the code to another section.
Motion to approve. Multiple motions. Seconds. Any second?
Love the excitement, enthusiasm.
Further discussion from the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Item number 12.
This is the final resolution, or ordinance I have for you this evening. This is a request for the board's approval to conduct a public hearing and adopt an ordinance amending Section 5-7 of the Land Development Code. This is pertaining to temporary shelters. This ordinance is in response to Senate Bill 250, which preempts local governments from prohibiting temporary housing and sheltering in the event of a state of emergency declared by the governor. This would extend the ability to temporarily habitate in an RV on one's property in the event that their residential structure is rendered uninhabitable. Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and a second. Any citizens? Discussion from the board. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Item number 13. Is that Evan? I'm sorry.
I can take that one, Mr. Chairman. So this, item number 13 is a resolution seeking board approval to conduct a public hearing and also adopt a resolution electing to use the uniform method for collecting annual non-ad valorem special assessments. We do this every year. It basically just preserves the county's ability to levy special assessments for different improvements going into next year. It doesn't actually bind the board to do any special assessments. It kind of just puts your foot in the door and opens the ability to specially assess next year if the board chooses to do so.
Motion to approve. Second. Motion and a second. Any citizens? Any discussion? And this, if we do the MSTU idea, to fall under this.
Exactly.
For MSBU, correct.
MSBU.
Assessments, OSTU, or taxes, yeah.
Okay, very good. Which I do support, so I think that's the right way to go. Further discussion from the board? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimous. That takes us to planning and zoning, item number 14.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So item number 14 is an application for a change of zoning R23-15, which requests approval for a change of zoning from RR1, which is semi-rural residential, to HIC Crawfordville high-intensity commercial on a parcel of property that contains 1.45 acres. This application is quasi-judicial in nature, so I'll need to go ahead and swear in any persons who wish to speak on this item at this time. Again, if you want to speak on this item, you can please stand, raise your right hand, including staff. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you very much. You're all sworn. Also, commissioners are required to disclose any ex parte communications they've had concerning this item, so I'll go down the list. Commissioner Hess, any ex parte communications? Commissioner Messerschmidt? Commissioner Thomas?
I spoke with Mr. Jeffrey Dykes.
Okay.
I spoke with Mr. Jeffrey Dykes also.
None. Thank you. And I'll turn it over to Summer at this point.
Yes, as Evan indicated, this is a request to change zoning from RR1 to HIC, High Intensity Commercial, for property located at 95 Shadeville Road. This property is just west of the Petrick Park subdivision, which is also currently zoned commercial. The Planning Commission considered this request at their November 14th meeting and voted unanimously to recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. One citizen, Mr. Brown. Thank you, sir.
This is inside the town plan, this is what we're trying to do, so it's,
And it's got architectural rhythm lately.
yeah.
Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Planning and zoning item number 15.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 15 is an application for site plan approval, SP 23-05, and this requests approval of a site plan for an expansion of an existing mini storage facility to Crawfordville self-storage. The subject property contains approximately 8.61 acres of a parcel totaling about 12.51 acres, and it's located at 3291 Crawfordville Highway. Again, this item is quasi-judicial in nature, so I'll need to go ahead and swear in staff and any persons who wish to speak on this item. If you could please stand at this time and raise your right hand to be sworn. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You're all sworn. And again, for our commissioners, if anyone has any ex parte communications to disclose, now would be the time to do so. Commissioner Hess?
None.
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 None. Thank you very much. I'll turn it over to Summer.
Yes, this property is located at 3291 Crawfordville Highway. This is the existing Crawfordville self-storage mini warehouse storage facility. The applicant intends to construct an additional 45,000 square feet of mini warehouse storage on the west side of this property. The Planning Commission approved this request 5-1 on November 14th, or recommended approval rather. Staff is also recommending option 1 for approval.
Motion to approve. Second. Motion and a second. We have two citizens, Mr. Ralph Meadows. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Ralph Meadows, 18 Sweetwater Circle. Yeah, I'm just here to ask y'all to approve this application for the site plan, but it's something the county needs. Keep the citizens from having to go to Leon County. Stay here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Shane Holcomb. I'm just here for questions. Thank you, sir. Discussion from the board. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Passes unanimous. Good job. All right, that ends our planning and zoning items. We have no commissioner agenda items. County attorney.
No attorney items for tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. County administrator.
Yes, we've effectively completed the golf course. The company will be leaving. Wadsworth will be moving out this week. We've got about 6 to 7 acres of fairway that has not been sprigged, and we're more than likely, Shane and I talked about it, we're going to probably sod that first next year, be cheaper, to be honest with you, between fertilizer, etc. So, but that'll put us in the official grow-in period, and we should, like I say, we'll see how the weather in spring looks, and we'll determine when we open. So, also, I believe I sent you guys the, what's that?
Oh, your agenda item.
I'm not done yet.
He's not done.
I'm not done yet.
Sound like they're ready to get rid of me.
I know, it sounds like they're getting ready to boot you. I don't know. Now, gee, Willikers. But also, I believe you guys got an email this morning of the handiwork that our grants office, thanks to Michelle, and has been doing. We've got $580,000 awarded for the middle school over at
Wildwood, that'll go along with a septic to sewer project, that'll be just one phase of that, of $1.3 million, so about $1.9 million, almost $2 million just in that. And then there's one other septic sewer project that was funded at $586,000. That was over on the east side of 319. That'll begin our process over there. That we'll get those awards. All these awards we'll get probably first of next year. $3.2 million for the Alexander Force Main. That work, we'll probably be going forward with that work first of next year as well. It won't complete the project. Our initial request was over $7 million, but that'll at least get the Force Main part of the way, if not all of the way. And also another big thing is we did get $800,000 appropriated for a new library facility, engineering and design for a new library. So that's what's going on, and I appreciate all the hard work that Michelle and our engineers and all the folks go to bring these critical infrastructure dollars to us. And with that, we need to move forward with you guys organizing.
Very good.
So, like to, at this time, go ahead and, number 16 is go ahead and call for nominations for the chair and for the chairmanship for next year.
Nominate Quincy Messersmith.
For the vice chair?
Chair.
Oh. I second that.
Is there a second on that? Red second that. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Right, you said aye?
Fine.
Aye. All right, now I accept the nomination for a vice chair.
Again.
I second it. Have a second. Any discussion?
I would just say that you two gentlemen need to get up and start trying it.
Well, Chuck, if you don't want it, I'll do it.
You call it start trying it. Well, Fred said he'd take it from you.
If you don't want it, I'll do it.
From you. He would be.
That's fine, I can change.
If you don't want it, I'll do it.
Motion for,
Well, we descended the...
Rescind that?
Fred. Second.
second.
You can't second,
I know.
Chuck, how do you do second?
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, there we go. Our new chair and vice chair, you'll be sworn in at the next meeting. All right.
Anything further for county administrator?
Nope, that's done.
Citizens to be heard. Mr. Tom Wolfslager.
You should try it.
Welcome.
Just, I know my two neighbors have spoken, but I'm worried about Mansion Sands. The beach has just been eroded away so far. I was there last night. It was a high tide, but not a very high tide. It was you couldn't walk between the dune and the water. FWC just came out with a new requirement for crab traps to protect the terrapin turtles because they're endangered. And to my understanding, the terrapin turtles habitat is in the marsh behind those dunes, and they lay eggs on the beach. I did talk to FWC, a friend of mine that I grew up with. He's going to see if he can get somebody to come down to talk to y'all about that. But if that beach keeps going and those dunes are gone, that whole habitat is ruined. It's an ecological disaster that's fixing to happen. It's a beautiful place down there, and it just keeps on going. I don't know what else to say, but it's tragic. And it just seems like it's been ignored down there for a very long time. I know I sent y'all emails today expressing that, and I guess that's pretty much what I wanted to say. It's just, I feel like it's being ignored.
Thank you, sir. And David, I mean, you
tell me if I'm wrong. I think the only time we've ever done any beach re-nourishment is when we got a grant and did that for Shell Point to some degree.
Yes, and at the same time, there was 2 grants applied for by DEP. One was for Shell Point, and one was for Masha Sands. The one for Shell Point was accepted by NERDA, has nothing to do with us, and the Masha Sands was rejected by NERDA. DEP was the ones that actually applied for those grants through the NERDA program. And there's, like I say, that's DEP's responsibility to apply for those type of grants, and we talk to them, and that's, if they turn DEP down, we don't stand a chance, especially in the NERDA program. That's a state program.
Personally, I'm not opposed to it, but we've never spent local money on that, and it'd be very difficult to justify spending local money on it. And you,
Well, prior to that, though, there needs to be a study done before you do any renourishment, because it'll be gone.
Well, and I remember
an entire basins type study there.
even with Shell Point, we had to propose if we could dredge there, and all of that sand they used came from elsewhere. They wouldn't let us use local from right there in the bay and bring it back up on the beach.
That's right, they had to,
Come on back up to the microphone.
it was all hauled in from a pit somewhere here in the county.
Right.
Y'all did commission a study, I can't remember the name of the company, if you, MRD. They did do a study saying that they could take the sand, this beach quality sand, from the boat ramp canal and Sunrise Canal and re-nourish the beach. That was several years ago, but if you
Well,
look at
that is no longer valid, and there would have to be, the dynamics have changed there. We've already talked to everybody about that. There has to be a complete new study done, because all the dynamics have changed there. So that, and also the beach, there's not beach quality sand there, just one little section in our canal, that's a beach quality sand, the rest of it's mud. So, but no, trust me, there's just so much we can do. At the end of the day, it's DEP's land, and we've done everything that we can do, and we've talked with them as many times as we can, and maybe the tortoise thing will get them going.
We can support a resolution if that's the will of the board. If DEP's wanting to move that forward and they've got some money, some grant money, we can certainly support that. But in light of what's going on with our budget right now, I'm sure we
try to get it through FEMA after Michael as well.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the county's money.
Yeah.
I'm talking about applying for grants to
Yes, sir.
protect that area.
We all for that. Michelle's dragging it in just as quick as she can.
And the problem is, that's a different mechanism there. That's DEP's ballpark.
Yeah.
What we do is we apply to DEP for funding. They have to apply for funding to the federal government for that.
I can't speak for my fellow commissioners, but I doubt you'd get any opposition if they're driving that project forward, that we would,
Right, we're considering talking to DEP about some other options out there to, right after the first of the year, to try to mitigate, have a place for somebody to go to the beach, so it's that bad.
yeah.
Is there anything that the private citizens can do? The county has a private all that. Can we do anything to help the county?
Once we get a plan and get DEP down here, then it'll be time for you to speak up, yes. Yes.
All righty, that ends our citizens to be heard, discussion items from commissioners. Fred, you want to start us off?
Well, can we do that resolution for them to DEP?
I think we would need something to support those, right?
Yeah.
We need a project,
right now.
you know? I think we're all in agreement, we can say that we're agreed, you know, we all, a lot of us grew up here and we'd like to see that be.
Michelle, does
Before and after pictures?
does FWC,
I've seen,
they're the ones that control the years, ordinances. Do they offer any kind of?
Let us talk to them. This is a process.
Okay.
Let's talk to DEP. It's like everything. The reason we got all this money, we
Well,
got
I'm
a process to talk to DEP.
I know FWC now has gotten more.
Well, that FWC can do one thing, but that'll help us. But yet, we got to begin that conversation with DEP.
Okay.
And we've already shot a couple of shots across the bow already, so we're ready to.
Okay.
I don't know that FWC really has a grant other than the boater improvement stuff, so
They can contact DEP and say, hey, we'll try to do, what can we do here?
Right.
But
They can help push.
If they determine that there's an endangered species there, that's my thought.
That could open up a whole nother set of funding, that's right.
Our listing or a federal listing?
I do not know. I didn't know they were endangered, so.
So if it's a state listing, it's one thing. If it's a federal listing, there's a whole nother pot of money. So
Right.
that's a big question.
Yeah.
And as far as what citizens can do, it might not hurt to contact Representative Schoaf and the Senator Simon. Yep.
You almost said Mumford.
Yeah, I did. My senator. He was my principal in high school, too. Okay, well, we're already doing what we can do, so, no, I'm good.
I want to hear what Summer had to say, or almost was going to say. You going to say something? No?
Oh, no,
Okay.
sorry.
Red, anything else? No, sir.
Nothing at this time.
I want to just kind of throw something out, see if there's any appetite for this. So obviously, we've had a few RV parks get permitted in the past few years, and the way everything is written right now, RV parks have to go in a commercial zoning district, and if it's not something that's already zoned commercial, it has to be within a quarter mile of a major intersection. And it seems to me that what we're effectively doing is making sure that any RV parks are right on main roads or very close to main roads and main intersections. You know, I'd like to see if there's any appetite for, maybe releasing that some, relaxing it some, that we have that exception for the quarter mile setback from major intersections. Someone has a farm, has a piece of land that's, off the beaten path, seems like that might be a better place for an RV park. Yeah, it might be better than having everything lined right up down 98 just because there's commercial there or could be commercial there, and I just mentioned it in summer today for the first time, so there may be some unintended consequences or reasons why we don't want to do it, but I would just like to maybe explore that and see.
I'm exploring it.
Yeah, me too.
No problem with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I know we're not going to do it in a subdivision or anything like that, so.
right, that's right.
For it, but yeah, take a look.
I'll be opposing it every step of the way. I don't think we need any more RV parks. I think we have plenty, and for what we've already approved, we've got plenty of RV parks.
Okay, very good. Very good. Hey, diversity makes the world go round. Everybody has different opinions. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Relaxing the rules on restaurants. Let's get some more restaurants.
You got an opinion? You want to weigh in?
On the RV park situation, I got lots of opinions on that, but, I don't necessarily know what would it trigger? Are we talking about comp plan, future land use, FEMA, all of those fun words?
Could we maybe have staff just give us a high-level overview? Not spend a bunch of time on it, but just see, what would be the initial impact and what would need to be changed. Not anything that's got to be done right now.
Absolutely. We can put something together and kind of talk internally and see, what we can throw at the wall, see what sticks, bring it back to you guys as an update and give you something to mull over.
Very good. Sounds good.
Thank you.
There's land nest on 98 out there near where Master Sand Road is and Sheriff Road, and they advertised for 52 RV parks in a place in Carroll, one of the RV parks in Carroll, apparently bought it, so they gonna be able to build there?
Where's that?
That's not zoned for it right now, Masha Road.
There is an area there at Masha Sands, right as you're coming through from Evans Creek going towards Oclotney Bay, that was approved, a pretty sizable RV park.
And it's already zoned?
It's already zoned, and we've issued site plan approval, they just haven't constructed it yet.
Okay, so there you go. I didn't even know about that, so I guess the answer is yes. Yep. Very good. That's all I have, Quincy.
Nothing.
Chuck?
We have a workshop in December about recreational activities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so anybody that's interested in recreational plans and rec plans for the county, this will be your chance to get your 2 cents worth in. So
Yep, we'll have a short presentation, and then, you're right, open it up.
Yep. All right.
Very good. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We stand adjourned. Thank you all for participating tonight.